This is the Ceresco Dam, just west of Marshall, the city of Marshall. This is only a few miles from where the pipeline ruptured 3 years ago. And when I came to this site 3 years ago, the stench from the oil from the Enbridge Pipeline rupture was overpowering. I immediately got a headache. It smelled like every road in the county had been freshly surfaced with asphalt. It had that intense solvent smell that you get from asphalt. And that was the lighter distillates from the heavy bitumen evaporating off the top of the water. But when you have this heavy tar sands moving through the pipeline, it's a rather sludgy material that's moving through. It doesn't look like oil. It looks like it looks like a cross between oil and tar. And they call it the tar sands when they're going after these deposits up in Alberta. Enbridge spent 2 years cleaning up the river. They spilled over 1 million gallons of this heavy tar sand oil, bitumen, into the river here, into the Kalamazoo River. And after 2 years, they wanted to walk away. Said, it's done, it's cleaned up, we've put in some nice parks now, we're going to go away. And the EPA tested various areas of the river, and they estimate there's at least 80,000 gallons of this heavy sludge that sank to the bottom of the river, and it remains in the river. At least 80,000 gallons, and possibly, very, very possibly, 3 times that amount. So Enbridge was called back to the river, and the EPA mandated that they clean up areas that they could get to large deposits of this heavy tar sands. Enbridge owns a lot of land along the river now where they've had to stage their cleanup efforts. Some of these lands are being converted into lovely little parks with access to the now polluted river. There are places where you can bring your picnic lunch and enjoy it with your family. Mike Schroeder, Enbridge's landscape contractor, says, we look at the Kalamazoo River as really the great natural resource of the county, and to provide more access to the public is really a benefit. We know it will have some impact on neighbors, but providing access to a natural amenity is something most communities desire. So overall, we think it's a benefit for the community. Kind of an odd statement, but these parks also have kiosks where you can see information about what happens, what you should do if you come in contact with oil in the river, and also maps showing you what parts of the river are closed for dredging. The rivers are cordoned off and have warning markers. There are flotillas to collect some of the oil if it bubbles to the top. And dredging operation is going on right there. Enbridge has plans to double the amount of Alberta tar sands oil it brings into the region, into the Midwest, to refine. And just downstream from the efforts now underway to clean the river for the 3rd year in a row, you can still see oil staining the edges of the riverbank.